Alright, back with comics. Last episode, my thing crashed, my camera crashed, so yeah, I didn't like finish. I just left off in the middle of this. This is an intergalactic army soldier. We haven't seen second generic soldier before. He's shooting some guys. Then we have that warrior guy from the alien thing that was fighting Clawman, and then he battled Zane, and then Clawman's like coming out, and he's like, "How'd you get there?" And he's like, "A monster man brought an army from AC." And then they started battling, and then as Clawman's about to attack, but then this guy, Pain, slices off Clawman's arm, but then he regrows an arm because he has healing powers, and then, he wins the fight, and then they're fighting, and I paused it because I got bored of that, so, yeah, now I have Recess Lands. Pause, because I don't really resume it for, like, 2 other journals. Episode 23 of Recess Lands. In Recess Lands and Grassy Lands. This is right after the Reality Wars. So it's finally picking up what happened to these guys. So there's Luke, Zane, and Colin. They got teleported back in the Grasslands, and Colin's like, whoa. And Luke is like, wait, we died. And Zane is like, Epicard brought us back. And Luke is like, did you die? And Zane is like, no. So they're all like walking along, and then they see the destroyed ruins of the school. And Zane's like, the school! And then they're stepping around in it. And Colin finds some grass inside the school, and he's like, there's a new land. And then they'll come out and they see all this grass with like these weird triangle things. And guess what? So this is the original Recess Lands map, right? And that's the destroyed school. And guess what? The field is there too. This entire new area with the field called the field. So that's like the end. The end of that episode. Then we have part 1 of a new story. So this story is a little bit weird because like I only controlled one character, that guy, and the story's entirely made by my friends. Unlike most of my stories where I completely just like am completely in charge of like all the creative decisions, my friends made this story around what I did with this character. So I was only in control of that character, and then they just decided what happened based on what I did. So then there's Bob, and there's Ive. There's an elf guy and a orc guy. So then this villager guy says, he's like, save us, and the story's called Island of Shadows. So they go into this cave where they find a statue of a mouse, and then they find, they kill some weird goblin guys, find a statue of a mouse. They see evil wizard, they fight the wizard, they stab the wizard. Ive's face gets turned orange by a magical spell, and then, Bob smacks the wizard in the face and kills the wizard. So he basically just kind of knocks him out. So then they escape, and then the villager mayor is like, he gives them money and he gives them coins. And he's like coins, and he gives them coins. So then they're all like leaving. And then, it's not the end yet, but then apparently that's a story that Chronic has been telling through Siphon the entire time during the period of 30 years after the Reality Wars. So like, this is happening in another dimension, but Chronic is seeing what's happening through, so this story is happening in another dimension in the comic canon, and Colin's just seeing what's happening using his, Chronic is just seeing what's happening using chrono mode. So then Siphon's like, yay. And he's like, then what happened? And then Chronic's like, then, and then part 2 of Island of Shadows. Well, that's the end, that's like, part 2 of Island of Shadows. So there's 2 new characters, Bloodman and Luke. So they're wizards, and they walk around, and then, like, this halfling guy comes up, and he has these weird elf ears thingy. He's like, you guys are wizards, I'll pay you to stop these monsters. And they're like, yes, I am. So then they go to this, you guys are wizards, I'll pay you to stop these monsters. Oh, there's something else. Alright, I'm done. So they go to this little hut, and he's like, that's their hideout. So he's like, let's go. So it turns into a skull on top of the little hut thingy, and a guy comes out, and he's like, step away, with a giant axe. And then one other guy runs up behind Luke and Halfling. So then they battle for a little bit. Bloodman battles the other guy. The Skull Warrior guy, well, they're called the Skull Warriors, smacks Luke in the face, and it, like, slices him. And then the Halfling pulls out a staff and steals him. And then the Halfling battles the orc, and then launches him up with his staff. And then Luke is like, so then he lands down there, and he has a scar on the side of his face. He was a pretty high-ranking guy. So then, Bloodman dodges an attack by the other Skullmaster and shoots him off with, like, I mean, not Skullmaster, Skull Warrior. So then, like, a little commander guy comes out, and he pulls, like, a giant, like, wall with, like, spikes on it, and he smacks Bloodman in the face with it, and the Halfling jump kicks him. and yeah, and he heals Bloodman's face, and then the guy's like, you'll never be able to stop Skull Warriors. And then Halfling kills him. So they're all walking back, and he's like, let's go. So this is their little map. These are like the mountains. They're called the Clockwise Mountains. There's a rat village, the city of Epicart, and the town of Zane. And then the Chronica Forest. And then there's the little Skull Warrior camp that they destroyed. And then they're walking back. So it's not a coincidence that all the places are named after stuff. People from the comic canon. That's no coincidence. So then the city of Epicart, they walk back. And then they get to the head of the security guy, and then the halflings, like, the monsters have been destroyed, and they were the Skull Warriors all along, and then halflings, like, we destroyed them. So he gives them gold. He's like, here you go. And the head of security is like, thank you, good citizen. Halfling's citizen of the city of Epicart. So in part 3, Island of Shadows, so it's Bob and, like, his friend, and he's like, we will destroy you, and there's a mouse, and he's like, no, you will not destroy me. You will not win. I am the Mouse Man. And then he summons the Mice Men, which stabs Bob's friend. And then Bob smacks Mouse Man in the face, the Mice Man guy in the face, and smacks the other Mouse Man. And then like he looks at his friend who's like dying, and then he charges after the mouse, but the mouse escapes. He tries to jump on him. He like flies away. And then he's upset because his friend is dead. He died. So then there's Luke, and he's like, I heard the Mushroom Men were paying wizards to fight. So then Bloodman and all of them go to the forest of Chronica. So then the Mushroom Man is like, help us kill these goblins. And he's like, we will give you this pet. And he's like, they're in the mountains. And they're like, what? So then they're walking with this weird pet thingy, and then they fall in the hole. And then I was just like, in the hole, Bob is depressed because his friend just died a couple days ago. And then the halfling walked up, and he was like, hey, help defeat these goblins, and I'll pay you money. And then, like, a while later, they go in the same route, and they find the hole. And then they go down into the hole. And, well, the halfling trips and falls. And then, Bloodman's like, huh. So then Bob sees that guy, and he's like, no. So he smacks him in the face with a hammer. And then he gets in battle-ready position. And and Bloodman's like, I am rock. And he transforms himself into a rock. Because he has that power. He's, like, pretty powerful. He's like a wizard. And then he's like, what? And then halfling's like, stop fighting. You need to fight the goblins. And then Bloodman transforms out of the rock. And he's like, wait, you're fighting the goblins too? So then he shoots a little beam out of his staff that creates like a weird ladder thing. And everyone jumps out. And the giant monster jumps out too. So walking back, they go to the mountains of Clockwise, where they get to the goblin camp up there. And they'll climb up the mountain and kill some goblins. Like, Bob smacks one, halfling shoots one, Bloodman shoots one with energy and arm powers, and Luke stabs one with his, like, a spiky sword thingy. So then they all walk back, and halfling's carrying the heads of the goblins. And there's Bloodman in front, Bob, and Luke. So then they go back to the city of Epicart, where they go to that head of security guy, and he's like, you did it! And he gives them the heads, and he's like, and then Bloodman's like, wait, we're supposed to take them to the Chronicle Forest and the Mushroom Man. And then halfling's like, no, I serve the city of Epicart. And they give them all gold. Yeah. But the halfling doesn't take any of the gold. He just gives it to all of them because he's a good guy. So then, so as they're all in the city, part 4 of Island Shadow, they're all in, like, the city of Epicart, and then this guy comes up. This guy. The guy with the scar on his face from the previous attack. So he's like the Skull Warrior, and he comes, like, and he smacks Bloodman in the face, slicing his face. And he's like, attack! And Bloodman's like, yeah! And the guy's, yeah! So he has, like, that weird thing. Weird, like, scar on his face. And then another Skull Warrior jumps up from nowhere and smashes Luke's head and kills him. And Bloodman and Luke are like best friends. So like, no! So then Bob smacks the other Skull Warrior in the face. And then Bloodman shoots energy at the scarred Skullmaster. And by the way, he didn't get that scar from getting launched by the halfling. He just had that from another thing. And then, like, he blocks it. He blocks the energy with the axe. Bob swings his hammer, and the other guy, like, falls under it. And then, the guy with the scar stabs Bloodman. And then, Bob is a wizard, remember. He has, like, magical powers. Wizards, like, is like a race. Like, the races are, like orcs and elves and, like, halflings and stuff. But there's also, like, a sub-race, which, like, half of, well, like, not half, like 1% of all of the things in the island are wizards. So he charges up, like, a beam from his hammer. And he shoots it at that one Skull Warrior, the other Skull Warrior, and then he gets eaten by like the Mushroom Man pet guy. So then Heflin heals Bloodman, and then Bloodman shoots the guy with the scar. And yeah, that's it. So then Heflin's like, keep him alive. We need to find out where his camp is. So he's about to kill him. And he's like, tell us where your camp is. And he's like, okay. It's in the Chronica Forest. And Bob was like, you can go. This isn't your fight. Because he's like, they killed Luke. And Hefling's like, they attacked the city of Epicor. And Bob's like, okay, you can go. This is not my fight. I'm not getting paid. I don't really care. Because he's like a bounty hunter. So then Bloodman angrily kills the guy, the guard guy. But that may not be its true death. Dun 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 dun. So Bob goes to a house, because he lives in the city of Epicor. So then, like, the poof. It's not the end, it's the poof. Alright, so part 5 of Island of Shadow. Hefling and Bloodman are walking through the forest where they see this big building. It's 2 huts. And then this guy comes out. He's like a Skull Warrior leader. He's like, his name's Ogrok. And then, a Skull Warrior comes up to him. He's like, we have heard from the scouts. No, he's like, we haven't heard from the scouts that went to the city of Epicor. And he's like, be ready. The enemies could attack any moment. And then that guy his assistant gets killed. And he's like, oh no. He's always scared of everything. He's not actually that tough. So Bloodman is like, no, I missed, because he wanted to assassinate the leader. So then a guy with a Skull Warrior with a spiky hammer, a Skull Warrior with a sword around at them. Bloodman attacks the guy with the spiky sword with his energy, spiky hammer as his energy abilities, but doesn't do anything, so he blocks it. Then the Halfling jumps over the guy with the sword, but then Ogrok grabs staff and catches him. So back in the city of Epicor, Bob is like, you know what, I should be there too. So then the Mushroom Monster Man guy eats the Skull Warrior with the spiky hammer thingy, and then Bloodman's running. He does a roll, a very odd roll, because I can't really draw rolls of how I draw my characters, and I haven't perfected that yet. So another Skull Warrior walks up with like a 3-pronged staff spike thingy. So then, and his arm gets like broken for some reason after a hammer gets thrown in his head, and then there's Bob right there, because he ran all the way to the floor. Oh yeah, they were up against the hut. Bloodman was up against that, and that's the end of that. So part 6, Island of Shadows. So 10 years earlier, this is a kid named Sylvester, and he has a mom and a dad, and then Ogrok. He's part of the he's the Skull Warrior the Skull Warriors wants to kill anyone that lives in the city of Epicor for motives I will reveal later. And so they killed his parents, and then Sylvester runs away. And he's like, you know what? I will kill all orcs. And 10 years later, he has a giant sword. And he was like, because he hears orcs in the Chronica Forest, where he runs up and stabs one Skull Warrior. And then there's another Skull Warrior, the same one with the sword. So then he throws his sword, slices that guy in the face, and then Halfling like jumps over it, and it hits Ogrok in the stomach. And then Bob runs over and smacks Ogrok in the face. And then Sylvester punches Bob in the face because he's like, oh no, it's an orc! Yeet! And then he eats him. And then Ogrok's just like waking up, and he's just like, what? And Halfling's like, stop, he's good. And then Ogrok gets up, and he's like, what? And then Sylvester punches him in the face. And he's like, who? And then who are you? And he's like, I am Sylvester. And Bob was like, you're Sylvester, Orc Slayer, the most famous Orc Slayer in the lands. You kill any orc you see. And Sylvester's like, orcs killed my parents. And then Bob was like, no, the people who killed your parents were probably the Skull Warriors. So then Ogrok gets up, and then Sylvester tries to slice him. But Bloodman jumps over it, and then he lands because the Halfling grabs the sword with his staff, energy. And Bloodman's like, we need him for information. So it's up against a tree, and because they're in the Chronica Forest. And the Halfling's like, where is your camp? And then Ogrok is like, oh no, this is the base. He's like, where's your main base? He's like, this is the main base. And he's like, I bet he's not the real leader of the Skull Warriors. He's like, are you? And Ogrok's like, yes. All we want is to destroy the city of Epicor. And then Bob was like, who is your leader? And Ogrok's like, I am the leader. And then Bob was like, okay, well, liar, tell me who the real leader is. or I'll eat your eyeballs. And Ogorok's like, and then Bob rips his eyeballs out and eats them. And Sylvester's like, hey, I wanted to do that. And then, laughing Lucifer's like, he had these things. It's a stone with a smiley face. I mean, it's a stone with a sad face on it and a note. His pet thing. All of them. So it's like, the note says, we will meet in Bobland for the attack. Now, Bobland is a destroyed city that's like at the opposite end of the island, because they're all on an island. The area, the map that I've showed you that has the mountains and the forests and the cities, that's just like one portion of the island. The island's like way bigger than that, but it's still an island. It's pretty small. There is a mainland outside the island, which doesn't have the wizards or anything. But they still have like the races and other types of creatures. So Halfling's like, they're going to Bobland. And he's like, let's go. And Bob's like, Bobland's 2 days away. We'll be too late. And then the Halfling's like, oh no, we must warn the city of Epicar that they're coming for an attack, probably. So then they run from the Chronic Forest to the city of Epicar. And then 5 hours later, while they're walking to the city of Epicar, because they ran into some complications, but it's not that big of a deal. They're walking. It took a little long. It's 5 hours later. What? I said we meet tonight for Bobland. I think I said tomorrow for some reason. If I didn't, well then I'm just dumb. It says tonight. So then, he's holding the stone, and it gives him like a weird vision thing. So everyone else, well, Sylvester and Bob touched it, and then, Bloodman and that one mushroom pet thing that's like, what? So they're like in a hallucination mode. And there's this guy who's wearing a hood. And then there's those three of them. And then there's a guy with 4 eyes, the mouse man, an orc guy, and then a guy with spikes. So the guy with the hood is Ogorok. And then Bob was like, and then the guy with the hood is like, this meeting is supposed to be secure. And then Bob was like, oh, the meeting. And he's like, Ogorok was killed. And he was like, wizards. He was killed by wizards. And he's like, I was the second. And the guy with the hood is like, the people with you, were they prisoners? And he's like, yes, I captured them, but there are still more wizards on the loose. He's like, okay. He's like, the attack on the city of Epicar is coming. 4th, you lead your men on the attack. And the guy with 4 eyes is like, okay. And he's like, Mouse Man, you burn some villages and poison some house. And Bob is like, wait, it's that mouse. Mouse, where you be going? And the mouse is like, you don't need to know that. And he was like, I could send some reinforcements. And the mouse is like, I think I'll manage. He doesn't exactly know that Bob is Bob, but he's kind of suspecting it. So then, the hooded guy is like, Ogorok second, eliminate the rest of the wizards. And Bob was like, okay. And then the hooded guy's like, dismissed. And then they all get out. They were like tracked from the vision thing. And then the sun goes back to normal. And Bloodman's like, you good? And Sylvester's like, you did well. You could actually be good. He's talking to Bob. And Bob was like, come on, they're going to the city of Epicar. So they charge, they run at full speed without any complications back to the city of Epicar. And it only takes them like an hour. And then the guy, Halfling's like, there's going to be an army coming to the head of security. And the head of security's like, tell the other towns. So then they go to the town of Zane, where they go to the house, and he's like, hello? And then he's like, nobody here. So then they go back to the rat village, which is one of the other towns. And in the rat village, Bob picks up a rat, and then the rat goes, no! And then Bob runs away, and then everyone has to go chasing after him, and then they end up back in the city of Epicar. So warning other towns is very unproductive. So back in the city of Epicar, Bloodman is like, follow me into battle. And then the security walks up into battle and is like, thy end. Dun, 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 dun. I had extra room in my journal, but I stopped. Alright, this video was made on like October 14th, but I probably won't upload it till a week later because that's my new trend. I actually pre-record videos and like upload them a week later when I see fit. So if it's not uploaded by October 14th, know that I have, am not, oh, it's actually October 15th. So know that I'm not good at uploading videos. Okay, goodbye.